It's a shame that you have a huge fraction of the population looking at it for signs that it was a fake and unfortunately not finding overwhelming evidence that it was true.
NASA just announced the astronauts going on the Artemis III mission. This is the next step in the NASA missions to go back to the moon with the goal of eventually establishing a moon colony.
I cannot tell you how many people have said, oh, you're going to see the Actor-nauts. The Actor-nauts.
But NASA just officially canceled the entire mission that was supposed to land humans on the moon.
Welcome back to another episode of J-Tally Reacts, bringing you the highest vibrations on YouTube. Today, we're diving into the new Actor-naut crew that NASA just hired for the Artemis III mission. But they're not going to the moon. If you're new to J-Tally Reacts, we're decoding the simulation one reaction at a time. If you want to unlock the cheat codes to life, smash subscribe. Let's jump into the first clip.
NASA just announced the astronauts going on the Artemis III mission. This is the next step in the NASA missions to go back to the moon with the goal of eventually establishing a moon colony. This crew will launch into space on the same kind of spacecraft that they used for Artemis II, Orion. But this time they'll circle Earth in low orbit to practice meeting up with and docking with both of these two commercial landers made by private companies. One made by SpaceX and one made by Blue Origin, with the goal of testing Orion's docking system for the very first time. And this has to go perfectly, so that on the next mission, Artemis IV, Orion can fly all the way to the moon, the lander flies separately, and then they dock out there in lunar orbit, and then two astronauts can land back on the moon for the first time in over 50 years. They'll stay on the moon for about a week, performing new science and collecting samples, all to set us up for eventually building a moon colony. There's so much that's going to happen before they launch in 2027, so if you want to see it, follow along.
Oh my God.
And then we are going to add missions. In fact, we're essentially going to pull in Artemis III to launch in 2027 with a revised mission profile. So instead of going directly to a lunar landing, we will endeavor to rendezvous in low Earth.
Pause. So basically you got caught during the Artemis II mission and realized we might not be able to fake this as well as we thought. So we should probably push it back a little. What do you think? That's what I think.
Orbit with one or both of our lunar landers, test out integrated operations between Orion and the landers, ECLIS systems, even to the extent possible, if we can get up development components of our XEVA suits to test out vehicle interfaces, even just getting an astronaut in a suit in microgravity, we can learn a lot with the idea that we should be learning. And take this information back to inform hardware development, whether it's in the landers or in the suits before Artemis IV, where we will attempt to land on the moon.
So now, if they don't have their spacesuits figured out, because he said, we haven't used the spacesuits, we got to check them out. Bro, if you guys don't even have the spacesuits figured out, how are we supposed to believe you could land on the moon?
Has been. Big decision for Artemis III. NASA had been debating whether this mission to conduct the first test docking of the Orion crew capsule to a lunar lander should take place in low Earth orbit, a few hundred miles up, or high Earth orbit, several thousand miles up. High Earth orbit is a better testing site for lunar technology, but low Earth orbit is easier to get to. To get Orion to low orbit, you don't need to use the upper stage of NASA's big SLS moon rocket, just the lower one. That means going to low orbit with Artemis III would allow NASA to save the only upper stage that's currently built for Artemis IV, which is supposed to go all the way to the moon and land on it. So, did NASA choose the better testing site of high orbit, or the more resource-efficient choice of low orbit? In the end, NASA chose to save that upper stage for Artemis IV and will be sending Artemis III to low Earth orbit, which means when the mission lifts off, currently scheduled for late 2027, it won't have that far to go. Big decision.
Do you think they chose low Earth orbit in order to kind of they could probably pull that off, like they're still within the firmament, so they could be like, look, we're doing it, it's real, everybody. We're not going to do high Earth orbit, but we will do low Earth orbit, because we're going to do it. Then we can all bust out our telescopes and actually see it happening, because it's only a couple hundred miles up. So at that point, if we can't see it with the telescope, they're gassing us, for sure gassing us.
This is the news that we are hearing about right now, but NASA just officially canceled the entire mission that was supposed to land humans on the moon. This is obviously insane right now. For years, Artemis III was supposed to be the mission that finally put humans back on the moon for the first time since 1972. That was literally the entire point, why it's all over social media, why so many people are excited right now, and yesterday, NASA just officially canceled it. They actually didn't scrap the entire program though, they actually just scrapped the plan, because Artemis III is still gonna launch in 2027, but it's just not gonna go to the moon anymore. Instead, they're saying that the astronauts will stay in low Earth orbit and they'll practice docking the SpaceX and Blue Origin landers that were supposed to land them on the surface. The reason why they're saying that they have to change it is because the original plan is trying to do way too many new things at once. This would be the first ever attempted crewed docking, the first new spacesuits, the first lunar lander test, and the first landing, all in one mission. And basically an independent safety panel just came out and said that's how you don't come home. The actual landing is now officially scheduled for Artemis IV that would happen in 2028, and NASA says that they actually want to do 2 landings in that year. But also at the same time, we have been 2 years away from the moon for about 6 years in a row now, so I guess we'll see.
I guess we'll see.
Before Artemis III reaches the moon, this has to happen first. 2 starships in orbit, one full, one empty. A transfer arm locks between them. Supercooled liquid oxygen, minus 183 degrees, moves from one vehicle to the other. In space, at orbital velocity. This has never been done before. NASA needs multiple tanker launches, in sequence, no delays. Because Artemis III does not carry enough fuel to reach the moon on its own. If that sequence slips, Artemis III does not leave orbit. The full breakdown is the long video.
So hold on. Elon Musk said that too. He said, you know, you can't make it to the moon in one tank. So how did they do it? Really, how did they do it? I'm asking for a friend. How did they do it? How did they do it? Elon Musk was saying we're gonna have to refuel, you know, halfway up. We're definitely gonna have to refuel halfway there. I mean, it's just you can't make it on one tank of gas. That's my best Elon Musk. But how did they do it? Let me know in the comments, all you "we landed on the moon" believers, because I don't believe it.
I think a rifle bullet, depending on the caliber, goes like 1,700 miles an hour. This rocket ship goes 25,000 miles per hour.
Damn.
So, Dave, you ever go to a NASCAR race? Those things blow by you so fast, it shocks you every time. Right? What are they going? 200? This thing has to be accelerating 200 miles an hour faster every 5 seconds. Now, the actress on there, Christina, or whatever her name is, she said, oh, it's surprisingly smooth ascent. And, we were able to do things. Dave, 0 to 200 every 5 seconds, or a 200 mile an hour increase. You couldn't scratch your nose. You couldn't stay conscious.
Well, look at pilots in the G-Force, Air Force pilots. They can't even withstand that. I mean, they go through classes and practices with that, and then many of them can't pass. I mean, they black out.
Go on YouTube and search the Tesla speed test with passenger or whatever. Going 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds, the people freak out. This thing is increasing 200 miles an hour every 5 seconds. Look, it's still there.
Let's look that up. The Tesla speed test. Here we go. The Tesla speed test. Let's see what this is about. Oh! He's feeling that.
My God. Woo! Holy moly. What the?
But keep in mind, traveling 200 miles an hour on the road, which I do not recommend, but traveling 200 miles an hour on the road, you got bumps and stuff. He looks like he does feel some force from that. But I do think it would be different than going straight down in the air to the ground, like in a space shuttle, per se. But what they say, we're traveling, spinning right now 1,000 miles an hour, and then we're spinning around the sun at 66,000 miles an hour. So maybe we just don't feel it. I don't buy that, but that's what they say. Let me know in the comments if you think we're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour right now. I am feeling kind of dizzy.
Well, this sucks. Our plans to land people on the moon again in 2027 are likely going to be delayed again by years thanks to SpaceX's Starship. If you're new to what's happening with the moon right now, NASA wants to build something called Artemis Base Camp on the South Pole. The plan is for astronauts to live and work there for extended periods of time to conduct science and research and technology development. So obviously, one of the most critical components here is actually being able to land people on the moon. We need a lander, not the one that we had in the 1960s. The lander that's currently in development is a variant of SpaceX's Starship called HLS, or Human Landing System. NASA acronyms. NASA recently visited SpaceX to check on HLS because, well, they're paying for it, and unfortunately concluded that they are likely years behind schedule, which puts us at significant risk of losing the moon to China and Russia. So why is it delayed? Well, one of the biggest issues is that the rocket is simply too big to carry all of the propellant it needs to get to the moon. So it's going to require SpaceX to launch potentially dozens of other Starship vehicles filled with propellant to then refuel HLS on its way to the moon. The problem is refueling in orbit is incredibly complex, especially refueling cryogenically cooled propellants. And NASA has said that work has slowed due to competing priorities with SpaceX's own Starship development. Now, we should still see the launch of Artemis II early next year. They're targeting February. If you're new here or just need a reminder, that is the launch of 4 astronauts in an Orion capsule around the moon. They're actually going to go farther than any human has ever gone before, but they're not actually going to land on the moon. Artemis II is basically Apollo 10, and Artemis III, in an unknown amount of time, will be Apollo 11.
So obviously that video is a little old and dated.
NASA just dropped the biggest space announcement of 2026. 4 astronauts have been chosen for the Artemis III mission. Randy Bresnik, Frank Rubio, Andre Douglas, and Italian astronaut Luca Parmitano. These are the people heading to space in 2027. Their mission is unlike anything NASA has done before. They won't just orbit Earth. They will dock with the actual lunar landers being built right now by SpaceX and Blue Origin. This is the final test before humans walk on the moon again, and it has to work perfectly. Because Artemis IV, the moon landing, depends entirely on what these 4 people do in 2027. The last time humans stood on the moon was 1972. That's over 50 years of waiting, and this crew is the reason that wait is almost over. Follow our vault.
But that's the thing that makes me question everything. It's like, bro, you guys already did it 50 years ago with technology that was like way less advanced. We didn't even have cell phones. Like a computer was as big as a room. I mean, I just don't get it.
Hey NASA, quick question. Where's the woman on Artemis III? Because I don't know, it just feels like we're taking a step backwards, and there are plenty of qualified women in this astronaut class. So yeah, if you missed it, NASA announced the crew of Artemis III, which is going to launch to low Earth orbit next year and dock to one or both of the new lunar landers in a test that NASA is saying is one of the most challenging, if not the most challenging mission we've ever done. It's to prepare for Artemis IV, which will theoretically be the first landing back on the moon since 1972. And the crew is all men. I'm very disappointed in this decision.
I don't know. Maybe that's because she blew it on national television and kind of ruined it for all the other women, unfortunately. Not to mention, every NASA astronaut is a Freemason. So do with that what you will. And Christina Koch might have been an Eastern Star, but that's just an opinion. I don't know that for sure, but mostly all of the astronauts are Freemasons. They definitely gave her a shot, and she couldn't even describe her own feelings on coming back and seeing the Earth from space. She said, "Planet Earth, you are a crew," after an awkward, very awkward lapse in thought on stage. Like, she's supposed to be super intelligent. But I will say, being on stage does something to your mind. Speaking in front of an audience is most people's number one fear. So I understand that. I have been on stage. I have forgotten what I was supposed to say on stage before. So it's very easy to do. And I do feel bad for her because I've been there. So I'm not going to hate on her for that. But keep in mind, all she had to do was tell them her feelings. And that's a lot different if you can't remember your words. And that's why that whole thing was suspicious. Suspect.
Yeah, let's go. We're 40 trillion in debt. World War III just started. The pedos still run the show. Let's go.
This is why the scriptures say there's nothing new under the sun.
Artemis is the name of a demon that is mentioned in scriptures that people worshipped. All these people are literally applauding a demon. I will show you the scriptures. Acts 19:26-28. You see and hear how this fellow Paul convinced and led astray large numbers of people here in Ephesus and in practically the whole province of Asia. He says that gods made by human hands are no gods at all. There is danger not only that our trade will lose its good name, but also that the temple of the greatest goddess Artemis will be discredited, and the goddess herself, who was worshipped throughout the province of Asia and the world, will be robbed of her divine majesty. When they heard this, they were furious and began shouting, "Great is Artemis of the Ephesians." Guys, we gotta wake up. They have been showing it to our face every day. We gotta stay in scriptures. That is what will help guide us and direct our paths, friends. Much love. Keep holding on to truth.
Christina Cook and Jeremy Hansen taking their first steps outside for their historic test flight.
Everyone has been asking me to do videos on this Artemis II hoax. So let's start right at the beginning of the launch crew walkout.
To a wonderful applause from the crowd. They're looking really excited.
Now, what I want you to pay attention to are the cell phones that the people in the crowd are holding and recording and taking pictures with. Pay attention to these phones. I'm going to freeze frame the shots where they're holding them up, aiming them at the astronauts. And you will see that there are no astronauts whatsoever in the cell phone footage view.
It's
Some big
really
smiles.
Yeah.
I love that.
Out here. It's a great day for us. Great day for this team.
A few words from Reed. Great day for us, the team, he said.
So my thought is, A, why would they have to fake that? Like, clearly it's fake. Clearly, either those people in the audience are the worst, absolute worst, bottom of the barrel photographers on the planet, or B, they faked it. But the thing is, it's like, why would they have to fake that? Why? That's what I don't get. Like, why would they fake that? Were they trying to keep them out of the public eye? Did they not want people to see them, so they faked this? I don't understand. Why do you think they would fake that? Because, like, that makes no sense to me. And then they got caught. Like, there's so many red flags. It's funny, bro. It's so funny.
It's a shame that you have a huge fraction of the population looking at it for signs that it was a fake and unfortunately not finding overwhelming evidence that it was true. This is the story of a human tragedy. You've got a mission mired in a controversy about the most basic facts of what's true of our technological history. And this mission does very little to alter the status of that discussion. It basically plays to the New York Times reading crowd, some of whom are having absurd reactions like, why are we wasting money on this? Which is,
that was The Guardian, but close enough.
Well,
yeah.
Saying, I think the thing is, you're peering into, this is one of these soliloquies that you can imagine exactly the cocktail party at which that sounds sophisticated, right? The place that you can go that you can say that, and the response is, I know. Why do they do this?
Have you seen what's happening on our streets?
Right.
Don't we have better ways to spend our money? Yeah, and you guys aren't doing a good job of it at all.
Right, and you guys are also not paying attention to the fact that, we have these gigantic leaks of our tax dollars into frauds in various parts of the country,
That's what I was referring to, both the frauds and the explicit programs that are batshit crazy.
You got explicit programs that are batshit crazy. You've got frauds that are crazy. You've got, wars that, destroy a huge amount of treasure and cost lives. The number of places at which society is misinvesting is spectacular. And, the idea that you're going to take something that's meaningful to many of us and challenge it because you can't find out how, it has a practical benefit to the particular things that you're caring about is just, it's a total failure of imagination, which might be one of the many symptoms of the Cartesian crisis and the era of fraud.
And he brings up a good point. At the beginning of the video, I said, oh yeah, they got caught during Artemis II, so they decided to push it back. But I don't think it was about that at all. They don't care if they get caught faking it. They really don't. What it comes down to and what they care about is the tax dollars. So instead of saying, hey, we're going to go to the moon in Artemis 3, they said, we're going to go to the moon in Artemis 5 because we want to test a few things. So now, instead of getting one more big lump sum tax payment, which I'm sure they already get like billions per year, but I would assume that they get more when they do space flights and whatnot. I will look into that, but that's just off the top of the head. I think they get more money if they have more missions. It only makes sense. So yeah, I looked it up, and basically it says NASA does not receive an automatic open-ended extra budget for new space missions, but instead, the agency must request supplemental funding from Congress for large, unexpected endeavors or reallocating existing funds within its annual budget. So Congress sets an official budget for NASA every fiscal year. And when they decide to do an extra mission, they can go in front of Congress then and say, hey, we need a little more money because, hey, we're doing Artemis 3, 4, and 5 instead of just Artemis 3. So I think that's why they decided to extend it. They don't care if they get caught faking it. They really don't. Like, what are we going to do? Have a conspiracy theory about it like we have for 50 years? Like, they don't care. They're just going to call us conspiracy theorists and move on to the next. And all the NPCs out there will fall in line and say, oh yeah, it's real. Oh, America, let's go. We're the best. Wake up, people.
I cannot tell you how many people have said, oh, you're going to see the Actor-nauts. The Actor-nauts. There are still people who do not believe that this happened. How do you handle that?
I ignore it.
You ignore it?
Yeah. But not, I think that's maybe, not even the right word. It's not how you feel about it either.
Pause. Like I said, that Mason stuff, it's not how you feel about it. Who are you? You just blew it in front of the whole world. It's not how you feel about it. Hold on. Stop talking because you already blew it for us. He was mad, and I'm going to show you proof at the end of the video that he was mad about this. But you wonder why there's not a woman involved on the next mission. She blew it. I'm sorry to say it. I love women. Love them. My body count is high. I love them. I'm sorry. But at the same time, she blew it. She really did.
We value, we just value people. We just respect
questioning.
And so it's not the
pause. His answer wasn't any better. We value people. Earth, you are a crew. Like, this script is weird. They're speaking in code.
Dismiss them. I don't mind that people ask questions or are. I want people to critically think about things and not just accept everything that they see. To me, it's speaking to some need that we're not filling, and I'd love to help them fill it. I don't know how to do it, but like we've talked about a lot, we don't carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. We can just be us, be authentic us, tell our truth, and how it's interpreted is how it's interpreted. And as long as they're not hurting anybody, there's no issue.
That's a beautiful Can I share answer. One? I think it's important to acknowledge that sometimes those are people who want to be heard. And so I process it the same way I process people that say we're spending too much money on that and we have problems here on Earth. Sometimes all I need to do is listen. And I've actually had the best response from people when I did not try to say, hey, for every dollar we spend at NASA, it's $3 to $7 of return. Or to, hey, I've seen the moon and Earth from space. It's an ellipsoid. When I just listen, those are the best interactions with folks like that because they're not always trying to get an answer. They just want to be heard.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, ultra super respectful answers. They seem like stand-up people. Really, they do. Really. I think they're caught in this trap to where they may be lying about this and they may have no choice, which is, I get it. But if they are telling the truth and they are going to build a base on the moon and one day we'll be able to go, hey, I'll be the first one to come on my channel and say, I was wrong. Look, I'm on the moon right now. I was wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I will definitely do that, but I just don't see it. I really don't. Like, and the problem is, it's just there's too many red flags. There's just too many red flags.
So when the history of this mission is written, what would you hope it says?
I hope they forget all about Artemis II.
Why is that?
We, as a crew, and I think that's a little bit extreme, but we talk about our legacy being enabling the future missions, and all the way from Artemis III to Artemis 100 to missions to Mars.
Completely agree. But you're the first step.
Yeah, but watch what's coming next. It gets pretty extraordinary from here.
I hope so. I'd love to go to the moon.
So looking at this footage of the Artemis capsule falling back to Earth, they tell us it's moving at 25,000 miles per hour. Think about that speed. How are humans going that fast and not getting hurt at all? We're supposed to believe that these little pieces of fabric can slow a multi-ton capsule from thousands of miles per hour down to car speeds in just a few minutes. The physics just don't add up. Now look at it in the water. This thing supposedly just hit the atmosphere at thousands of degrees. Where's the steam at? Why isn't the water bubbling around it? And look at these Coast Guards on these boats. They're touching it with their bare hands. If it were that hot, it would melt their skin off. Even the inflatable bags, they're made of rubber. Why didn't they melt? Am I the only one seeing this signature? And again, this is all for entertainment purposes only. No, I don't think this is, fake.
When you're in a studio somewhere on Earth, you're going to see that there are some slip-ups when they're trying to remember this whole delay thing.
And we have adjusted the fan speed. We'll take a thumbs up if you're happy with it.
Oh my.
Copy, thumbs up.
Look at his face. They're giving thumbs up. And now he's like, hey, this guy.
Superlative thumbs up.
Oh, man. She asked for a thumbs up, and he does it immediately. This is just damning evidence right here. They are just having a regular conversation. He's not giving a thumbs up for any other reason except to answer this lady.
We are 3 minutes out from an on-time start, and we have adjusted the fan speed. We'll take a thumbs up if you're happy with it. Copy, thumbs up.
The lady even said, copy, thumbs up. Even
thumbs up.
Wow. It happened when they were talking to Trump as well. And then Trump actually addresses it. He's like, oh, we got a 9-second delay or whatever. Check this out.
Administrator Isaacman, just get a quick comm check. Make sure you guys are still on the line and we didn't have a handover.
I am. Yes, I am.
On the line and we didn't have a handover.
I am. Yes.
You hear how quick Trump responded, right? We just wanted to ask, as soon as he finishes the sentence, I am, right away. Listen.
Check, make sure you guys are still on the line and we didn't have a handover.
I am. Yes, I am.
When you're in a studio somewhere on Earth, you're going to see that there are some slip-ups when they're trying to remember this whole delay thing.
And we have adjusted the fan speed. We'll take a thumbs up if you're happy with it.
Oh my.
Copy, thumbs up.
Look at his face. They're giving thumbs up. And now he's like, hey, this guy.
Superlative thumbs up.
Oh, man.
A crew.
This astronaut from the Artemis II has an earpiece malfunction and she can't figure out what to say.
I want you guys to watch this part right here. Look at how Reed looks at Christina. He looks at her here in a second. He's like, good Lord, you just dropped the ball, lady. And then he comes over here and he shakes his head. Look at this. Oh my God. He's looking at her. I know you messed up. He's sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, you have no idea what you just got us into. This is going to be rough.
So several years ago, I was giving a speech and I was doing my usual talk about crew and crewmates and teamwork. And someone asked the question, what makes a crew? What is different about a crew than a team? And I was like, I got this. Opened my mouth confidently to tell them everything I knew about being a crewmate. And everything that came out of my mouth was completely without value. I was like, yeah, crews, they're in space. Boats have crews, you're a crew if you're on a boat. Helps if you have a paddle. That'll be good. That'll make you a crew. But a crew is people or, a group that is in it all the time, no matter what, that is stroking together every minute with the same purpose. And a crew is inescapably, beautifully, dutifully linked. So when we saw Tiny Earth, people asked our crew what impressions we had. And honestly, what struck me wasn't necessarily just Earth, it was all the blackness around it. Earth was just this lifeboat hanging undisturbingly in the universe. Uh-oh. So I may have not learned, I know I haven't learned, everything that this journey has yet to teach me. But there's one new thing I know, and that is, planet Earth, you are a crew. Thank you.
That was hard to watch. Like, it's hard to watch. I'm sorry. And that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. And most importantly, I appreciate you sticking around to the end. Don't forget to smash that like button and be sure to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. This is J-Tally Reacts, where we're decoding the simulation one reaction at a time. If you want to unlock the cheat codes to life, smash subscribe. I'm J-Tally. This is J-Tally Reacts, and we out.
Tally. I manifest. Want it, I see it, I got it, I get it, no question.